Welcome class. In continuation of the explanation of the lesson that explained in the previous video, we are going to learn about a very important life skill of this chapter, that is on empathy. What is the meaning of the word empathy? Empathy is the experience of understanding another person's condition from their perspective. You must have heard about the word sympathy. Well, sympathy and empathy are two different phenomena. It is like placing yourself in their shoes and feeling what they feel. Why is empathy important? Empathy is one of the most important aspects of creating strong relationships, reducing stress, and enhancing emotional awareness. Yet, it can be tricky at times. For example, how can you be empathetic towards people you may not necessarily agree with? Well, to consider oneself, a person has to be empathetic. But there is a noticeable factor with certain people and in particular situations that their natural ability and desire to empathize cannot be diminished or almost non existent, especially these days when the whole world is at stress. But there are so many benefits to empathy that most people aren't aware of. For example, if we notice that when we feel empathy for others and for ourselves, we can feel a sense of peace, connection, and perspective with that person. First, we come to the type of empathy that is cognitive empathy. It means understanding someone's thought and emotions rationally rather than in an emotional way. It is also known as perspective taking, is not really what most of us would think of as empathy at all. Now, cognitive empathy is basically being able to put yourself into someone else's place and see their perspective. It is a useful skill, particularly in negotiations, for example, or for managers. It enables you to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but without necessarily engaging with their emotions. That means you're going through the perspective of it, but it is not required for you to feel the same emotion. It does not, however, really fit with the definition of empathy as feeling with, being a much more rational and logical process. Effectively, cognitive empathy is empathy by thought rather than by feeling. Next, we come to the term emotional empathy. Emotional empathy, it is our automatic drive to respond appropriately to another's emotions. It is also said that emotional empathy is when you quite literally feel the other person's emotions alongside them, as if you had caught the emotions. Emotional empathy is also known as personal distress or emotional contagion. This is closer to the usual understanding of the word empathy, but more emotional. Emotional empathy is probably the first type of empathy that any of us feel as children. It can be seen when a mother smiles at her baby and the baby catches her emotion and smiles back. Less happily, perhaps, a baby will often start to cry if he or she hears another baby crying. Emotional empathy is said to be good because it means that we can readily understand and feel other people's emotions. This is vital for those in caring professions, such as doctors and nurses, to be able to respond to their patients appropriately. It also means that we can respond to friends and others when they are distressed. The third type of empathy we come across is compassionate empathy. It is our desire to help the one in need, along with feeling for the person undergoing sufferings and pain. Finally, when we come across the word compassionate empathy, it is what we usually understand by empathy, feeling someone's pain and taking action to help. The name, compassionate empathy, is consistent with what we usually understand by compassion. Like sympathy, compassion is about feeling concern for someone, but with an additional move towards action to mitigate the problem. Compassionate empathy is the type of empathy that is usually most appropriate. As a general rule, people who want or need your empathy don't just need you to understand, and they certainly don't need you to just feel their pain, or worse, to burst into their tears alongside them. Instead, they need you to understand and sympathize with what they are going through, and crucially, either take or help them to take action to resolve the problem. That is known as compassionate empathy. Cognitive empathy, if we see, it can often be considered under emotional. Why so? Because it involves insufficient feeling and therefore perhaps too much logical analysis is there. Whereas emotional empathy, by contrast, is said to be over emotional. Too much emotion or feeling can be unhelpful, as or emotions are very primitive in nature. So, feeling strong emotions, especially distress, takes us back to childhood. More or less, by definition, if we see, that makes us less able to cope and certainly less able to think and apply reason to the situation because we are more emotionally attached to that particular person. In exercising compassionate empathy, we can find the right balance between logic and emotion. We can feel another person's pain as if it was happening to us and therefore express the appropriate amount of sympathy. At the same time, we can also remain in control of our own emotions and apply reason to the situation. This means that we can make better decisions and provide appropriate support to them when and where it is necessary. In this diagram, you can see the spectrum of empathy. There are various emotions that they have shown. First is the pity, where we generally say, I'm sorry for you, where there is less of emotion included. Sympathy, I feel for you, where you show the concern. Empathy, I feel with you. That means you're getting the exactly same emotion that the other person is going through. And next we have compassion. I am moved by you. That means the emotional understanding is there. You're able to feel that particular person's distress or pain, and you're able to give them the solution as well towards it. Here we see a few skills which are strengthened by empathy. We see negotiation, collaboration, creativity, feeling safe, emotional connection, and identifying needs. How do we become more empathetic? Firstly, be real about how you feel. There are many things that we can do or practice so as to improve our ability to feel, experience, and express empathy. When you're willing to get real about how you truly feel and have the courage to be frank about it, both with yourself and others, you can so often liberate yourselves from negativity and judgments that mask what is really going on. When you are in a conflict with someone or dealing with someone, or take up one of the best ways, or take up something that is challenging for you, but you take up one of the best ways of being real. Doing this allows you to access empathy for yourselves and the other person who is involved in it. Secondly, imagine what it is like for them. This is one of the most important point on how you can become an empathetic person. While it can sometimes be difficult for you to understand another person's perspective or situation, being able to imagine what it must be like for them is an essential aspect of empathy. This starts with kindness. Whatever the situation is, the more willing you are to imagine what it is like for them, the more compassion, understanding, and empathy you will be able to experience. Thirdly, we see forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is one of the most important things that you can do in life so as to heal yourself and live a life of peace and fulfillment. Often you must have seen in real life and in movies as well that there are two best friends, they fight, but again they come together whenever the other friend is in trouble. This must happen with you all, with you all also, children. You have a friend, you have a best friend, and with her we often fight with our best friends, right? But after that, after fighting and all, whenever we see our friend in trouble or whenever she is in a condition that is not good for her, we automatically go to her and solve our problem, forgetting and forgiving everything that happened between us. That is one of the important lessons that we need to learn and achieve as well to become a more empathetic person. When you forgive yourself for your poor judgments and actions, you create the conditions and perspective to forgive others. This makes you stronger and wiser. The more you are able to forgive others, the more you will be able to empathize with others. So, we see empathy, for example, in workplaces when employees take leave or when you all take leave because you're not well, you have a headache or you have a stomach ache. We all have been through these pains of stomach ache, of headache, of say body ache. So we understand when students take leave, or empathy creates teamwork as well. Now, how does empathy create teamwork? For example, you're put in a group or you're a group of 5 people. Recently, you were involved in art integrated project or art integrated learning. There you had the teamwork, which reflected everyone's persona in that. So you were able to coordinate with each other, though you didn't know each other personally, but still, since you were put in the group for those particular subjects, this must have helped you in creating empathy towards others because empathy creates teamwork. And when you understand each and everyone's feelings and you attach yourself with them, naturally that teamwork, whatever task you give them, they will do it with utmost determination, hard work, and the project or the work that the task that have been given to them will be a complete success. People may not remember exactly what you did or what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So, to achieve empathy, we see seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. This is how truly you can achieve empathy. You can show empathy to the whole world and to yourself. You can liberate yourself and the whole world with the distress or the pain and the suffering. I hope you understood the meaning of empathy, children, and in real life, we will practice till you see the change in you and you see the change in the whole world. Thank you so much, children. God bless you all.